now. So, hello, Rakesh sir. I hope you're doing all right. I hope everyone at home is safe and sound because of the current ongoing pandemic. We'll be starting our interview by a small introduction about Rakesh sir. So, Rakesh sir, Mr. Rakesh Kumar, is a professional who's been working in the industry for the past 20 years with an outstanding track record in retail, fuel, telecom, strategy, and planning. He's had his past experiences working with Reliance Jio as a country head. He's worked with Walmart as a regional director of business development. He's worked as a retail networking planning manager with Shell and sales manager with SR Oil. Currently, he is the chief executive officer of Aritra Corporation, which is working with fuel and many other retail network solutions. And they are committed to making energy a much better and a more enjoyable role with making mobility more accessible. So, welcome, sir.
Welcome, sir.
Thank you.
Welcome, Tom. Thank you for joining us.
Right. So I'll be asking you first question. So the first question is basically that, like, when I come up with a business idea, or when a lot of us come up with our own business ideas, what we have a major problem is that if we discuss it with anyone, they're going to steal our ideas, or our ideas are at higher risk. So there's that always an internal reaction within us. So how do you think we should go ahead with an idea when we are always at risk of thinking that if we talk to someone about it, they're going to steal it?
See, we always feel that what ideas we have is a very novel idea, and no one has it because your information is based on what you have read, you have understood, you have Googled, you have met people around. But always think that the same idea would be in many people's minds. So uh, the entire idea will the success will depend upon how any idea gets executed. So idea execution is just like exams. I can copy your paper and get marks, right? But getting a job or getting through an interview or getting through in life is something which is not possible. So the same corollary I would like to draw in this case also, that any any business is idea plus money plus execution. So only one part, if anybody is taking, I don't see that's going to be a problem. So, uh, so never be afraid of that part at all, because when you start making pitch also to people, they may also go ahead and take your idea and do improvise and do something about it. So you never be afraid of that. Uh,
Yeah. So I had
All
this
right.
question. So like energy is a it's a very financially complex industry. And so when you decided to get into this field, like it's been more than like 3.5 years into this energy sector and which you've been into. So like how did you make it a success? Like how did you think that yes, it will work out and it's gonna be a hit?
See, I've been very clear about one thing in life, right through my career also, that I will always work in industry or field which is indispensable. So I would never work for services because where it may be done away with or people can live without. So energy is something which you cannot be mobile without energy. So if you have a vehicle, you will need energy source. The energy source may change. Petrol, diesel may be substituted by electrical, may get substituted by LNG or CNG or LPG, but energy source is going to be constant. So the first and the foremost thing was our choice of product, which is energy itself, which we wanted to cater to. Secondly, it also fitted in with our competence, because when I worked for Shell, you guys are in Bangalore, so Shell is everywhere in Bangalore, right? So the entire network plan of Bangalore city for Shell was done by me. So the
Wow.
whole where it should come, what all sales should be there, what we should offer. So the comfort zone of handling this business was very much there. So it was both a combination of what I thought we are good at and what the world will keep on needing till this world exists, mobility. So both together we thought that this is a business we should be in. And in pandemic also it showed that, because energy comes under essential services. So although everything was closed, we were told not to close. While others were told to get locked down, we were told not to get locked down. So it is a pandemic-free business also, which got proven during this time.
Yes.
So we're quite lucky in that.
So like to ask, like since you have worked with so many companies, like what difference did you find like when working with Walmart, an American multinational company, and Geo and Ultra subsequently? Like what differences would you find between these Indian or American companies?
See, all these multinational, or I call it multinational, transnational companies also, they the first and foremost thing is that they have a proven success of multicultural, uh, multilingual, and remote operations also, because headquarters is based in US and you're operating here. So when you're trying to do all that, it is only possible by having very well laid down standard operating processes. We Indians are good in innovation, good in working very hard. But one of the worst thing with us as a culture also is following process to the T. The best part is in all these multinational like Walmart and Shell, we saw that the process is more important than the person. Whereas in Indian organization, person is very much important than the process many times. So it is your trust on people more than the process that counts. So that is one big difference, I believe. Otherwise, Indian organizations are one of the best to work. What people call it as jugaad, I call it innovation. It's not jugaad at all. It is actually innovation of best standards, most value conscious people we are. So we find the best solutions around every task.
And so like since I've already told your company has done so well in the past so many years, and it has spread across so many sectors. So like we were talking about the like energy sector, fuel, and like you're into fuel distribution, you're into everything. Now you've also got into real retail distribution and logistics and consulting retail sectors. So like how did you manage it? How did you build your team, and how did you achieve success in that too? Like how difficult was it to build a team and get together?
See, in the beginning, startup is a very crazy world. So mostly we find it very difficult to have people who good talent is there in the market, but people who have been in a very chaotic world of startup is very difficult to find, because when you have even good guys coming from very steady organizations, they find it very maddening because nothing is set here, you know. So we have to start. We started with people whom we trusted. We had old team members from Geo, from Walmart, couple of them, and initially you can't even afford, even if your best of your team members want to come to your team, but you know you can't afford the salaries. You can't risk with their set careers because they're already working in some companies, so you don't want to risk their career because you first of all want to evolve. Like today also we want to still be sure about for next couple of years more. Then we will start hiring. So the first set of hiring is always on trust, and the most important thing apart from competency is your blind trust on loyalty, that people will stick around with you in spite of the hardships that you may face, in spite of monetary concerns or anything. Salary may get delayed 1 or 2 months, but still the trust that guys will stick around with you, that has to be there. So initial uh, period is like that. It's just like your college hostel mates. You know, so that kind of life has to be there for all of us.
One more question I had, Uncle. So, like, since you said that in the initial years of startups and all of that, you can't really afford the salaries, and it's a general thing that startups need funding. So, like, how did you manage your funding, and like, how did you get together the funds to work?
So the first phase is of course the proof of concept has to be there, and for that you have to burn your own money. So initial phase is something which, and ours is a very, very capital intensive business because we are creating the entire petrol pump, which is a real estate plus infra. So initially, we put in our money and also sourced through very close friends. So initial part was not going to the market for funds, but initially getting through uh, friends and all. And that is because that again the uh, trust is there that businesses may go wrong, right? Business can succeed or fail, but the trust that the money will not be siphoned off has to be there. That's the biggest thing in any startup. That the trust that the first money which comes, you go and buy a car or a bike and good office for yourself and great goggles and smart suit. That's not there, right? So you know that the deployment of these funds will be in the right place. So we have done that. Also to optimize the cost, we work ourselves thrice what we used to. So any presentation has to be made, any call has to be made. You have to go back to your worse than the first job, where you plan your itinerary, you travel in Oyo or any place as uh, healthy, hygienic, safe, but still cheap. So all those things has to be done. There are sacrifices to be made, and all the sacrifices have to be made thinking that something good is in the offing, and all this will lead you to somewhere. So this is all part of the planning, and your preparedness in mind has to be there to go through these hardships. So we work as the co-founders. We only work ourselves through the presentations, through travel desk booking. So we multitask ourselves for multiple guys who are working with us. We all do all the job ourselves.
So, so across all these years, it's interesting to see how we've all developed. And like in business, you must have been asked a lot of questions, a lot of different insights into different stories or something that they want to learn from you. So, what is the one question which you think is the best question you've been asked across all these years?
The best question I always think is, why should I trust you with my money? So that's a very fair question. That's a question which I have to also ask myself before going out and asking someone else to spend money in me and on me. So that's the best question, and that answer can come to you in a very different manner. There is an analytical part to it. There is a personal part to it, and but I do always love to see this challenge being posed to me, and uh, the question becomes tougher as our desperation grows tougher.
So I had just one last question. Like, if you'd be given a chance to start all over your operations again with all the knowledge you have today, like, what would be the differences then and now if you start again?
Hmm. See, I think financially I would plan it much better. No, that's the only thing. Otherwise, the power of experience is that we are able to anticipate all the bottlenecks, everything. Mostly we know what we are doing and where we are heading for. And but financials is the only thing which you start knowing. You don't understand till you start going into the market and asking for money, right? So I think the only change between what has happened till now and what I would do is, if I was to start right again, I would get the entire financial position, everything tightened up much more than what I did earlier.
So like I had one more question. So if we go back the memory lane, I wanted to ask you, how did you convince your first client or your first customer?
So that much, I think, this status that we had uh, in the entire corporate career So that did not make it difficult for us to convince anyone regarding our capabilities, regarding our ability to do things. But of course, everyone waits for you to bring up your first proof of concept, and especially when the whole world was going crazy around IT and IT enabled services and apps for things. We were coming up with a startup with a very conventional and old model, old school of thought. Until today, people ask me, why is there no tech angle to your business? We can invest much more. So we tell that we are not the striptease dancer in the circus. We do it for ourselves, and we work for what we know the best. It may not please anyone else, but we are conventional business dealing in a P&L manner. So we are very, very profit conscious people. We want to every unit of ours to bring out profit. As you see from all the startups, they don't talk about profit at all, but we talk about profit a day in and day out. So that's something. But luckily, our trust from people, or the question of believing us or not, was not there from day one. But it was tough till we brought our own proof of concept on our own money.